So this sweep update was honestly really good. I'm having a lot of fun with it. There's a lot of things for us to try out overall. Now, in this video, what I want to talk about is essentially what's going to be the next piece of info, which is coming out tomorrow. It's kind of crazy. They timed this very well because on the 12th, we got Megumi and we got the updated SP battle, right? The formidable battle versus Toji that was updated, kind of revamped, and it's way harder now. Then we've got also on the 19th, we had Jogo plus the Hidden Potential System edition, which I'm not going to lie, the stats are looking juicy. The stats are looking juicy, even on Domain Gojo. Like, look at this, 47k HP without even being into battle. Amazing, right? And then after that, on the 21st, right, we got the sweep update. And then tomorrow, right, we're going to be getting the stream. And we're going to talk about what you should expect, right? We have everything. So essentially, the main points that we're going to be getting in this is going to be, well, they're going to probably introduce the domain investigation event, because not only are we getting sweep, we're also getting a new type of event. So pretty hype month. Then we're going to be getting original story info. We should get a roadmap, and we're going to talk about what that's going to entail. We should get SP buffs information, because most likely we should get some for the end of the month, because domain investigation event is going to give crystals. Why else would you give a 2x event, which JP doesn't do much, like once every 3 months, and also a domain investigation event for more crystals if there's no SP buffs. We're going to talk about that. And then we should maybe get Culling Games info. So we're going to talk about that, if Culling Games is even a possibility. Is it? We're going to see. So let's start this off. And real quick, we have this, but I do want to say I'm going to be streaming at 5:30 a.m. EST. The stream is at 6 a.m. And we're going to be there. We're going to be there the whole time. I'm going to be very excited. This stream is looking quite hype. Now, we're going to talk about what we should expect, what we can expect, what we can't expect. But I would definitely say that, to me, this is like, September is the best month of JJK so far in all its history, right? By far, September is the best month we've had of JJK. New content and hype units in the same month, right? Insane. So let's get into this and see what we got. I made a notepad. So first of all, domain investigation event. We're just gonna quickly explain this. I think it's where is it? I think I kind of lost it on the way. This domain investigation event is basically going to give us crystals, and I could confirm now it's also going to give cubes. So most likely, like I say here, it's going to enter into the rotation with map event and story event. So it's going to be map event, probably into story event, into domain investigation event, and it's going to do this rotation, also probably with formidable battle. So yeah, we have a nice little rotation going, and I think this event could be pretty interesting. We'll see what they do. I think you guys are going to like it, though. I think this is going to be actual good content, and I'm pretty excited. Now with this, like I said, they're going to give crystals. They confirmed this is going to give full crystals, right? So because of that, we got a 2x event, and we got a full domain investigation event. That means, to me, SP buffs have to come at the end of this month. It makes sense. They have always revealed SP buffs on the stream. The last 2 streams have had SP buffs. Sorry, the last 3. Look at that. No, never mind. The one in March and the one in July did. So we're going to have to see. The one in May didn't, but that was anniversary, and it did have standard banners. So we'll have to see what they decide to do. However, that should be number 1. Now, original story info. What do we need, or what are we going to be getting? So what we do know is that it's going to have an opening, right? So they're going to have an opening in this by Mappa. So like the animations at the beginning, this should be pretty cool. Definitely going to use the screenshots from that opening for sure. Now, most likely release date for the chapters, and this is going to tie into grade and increase information. So right now, the max grade, as we know, is it's 15, right? So we need to kind of increase this more, or it would be cool for more stats. I think to make sweep even easier, I think it's definitely a possibility. And then we're going to probably get an idea of what exactly the story's about. We know Nanami and Yuji are involved, but what if Todo is involved? I would love Todo to be involved, because after Shibuya, we're not getting that many more units, so this would be very nice. And then new original character reveal seems to be almost guaranteed. So we'll see how exactly they do this, but I think for original character, essentially, like right now, like the main thing is that like everyone's like, oh dude, like literally how else do they bring a healer into the game besides Shoko? So what they could do is just make another person who could do RCT heals, right? That's it. That's literally all they have to do. Make a new unit who does RCT heals, and then they could do that for other typings, right? This would be pretty cool if they do that. If not, like this could just be a new DPS that they release. I think though, I'd rather them be either utility characters or supports, because OCs being DPS is kind of boring. Because when I'm trying to use a DPS, I'm trying to use my Gojos, my Tojis, right? My Yujis, my Sukunas. right? I'm not trying to use, and my Choso, of course, I'm not trying to use some bumfuck fucking Kaido as a DPS, right? Which is why Sakis have been tanks, Kaidos have been supports, right? That's the main reason. I think it's going to stay that way. So the OCs, we're probably going to get 1 to 2 new ones, and that's going to be it. So now let's go on from the original story. That's 100% confirmed. We should get a roadmap. Now it's going to be from September to November or December, right? One of these 2 months. Now here's my proof that we're getting one. The last 3 streams have gotten one. May from March to May. Anniversary from May to July. And then July Choso update from July to September. And guess what? It's September. So now it's time to update the roadmap. And it seems like after September, if it's in November, that means in November, we're going to get another roadmap. But I think that we could get a roadmap. And we'll talk about why, because there's a lot that they could talk about. First of all, next unit coming out. This is on the 23rd, which is right before end of month. And usually every single stream has confirmed a new unit coming. Every single stream. Every single stream. Because of that, it's almost impossible that we don't get a new unit confirmation on Tuesday. If they don't do that, if they don't give us a new unit confirmation, I'm gonna be surprised. I'm gonna be genuinely surprised. So my guess, my hope is that we get a new unit confirmation, which is either gonna be, right? Spoiler. It's either gonna be for the 29th, which is the next event. We could check that out, but it should be the 29th, the next event. If we go into this, right, in 7 days this ends, which it's going to line up with the 29th. Megumi ends the 29th, so we could definitely get a new banner on the 29th or the 4th, because on the 4th, Jogo ends, which is the final banner. So they could easily confirm it for one of those 2 days. Either or is possible. I don't think it's going to be another day. I think most people are considering that it's either the 29th or the 4th of October because they already did 2 units this month. So if they don't do a third, that's fine. But they've always done a unit end of month. And we haven't gotten a unit end of month because the 19th for them is mid-month. We have always gotten a unit EOM, sometimes 2 EOM. Not doing any has never happened this year. And even last year, I think it's never happened. So we're going to have to see, but most likely we're getting 3 units this month. And we'll talk about who later. We could get JJK 0 info. Now, why? Because on October 17th, there's going to be the rerun, right? It's going to be a rerun, new trailer, new key visual. I think it's probably going to be like a lot of the same shit. But yeah, and guess what? May 30th, you know what was May 30th? You know what was May 30th for the HI rerun? Guess what was May 30th? Shoko. On the exact day that the movie reran, we got Shoko. So my guess is we could get JJK 0 info, and that would lead into a JJK 0 Gojo, because like I've said, if we check, right, look who's on the graphic, right? Panda has a unit, Maki has a unit, Inumaki has a unit, Yuta has a unit, Miguel has a unit, Ghetto has a unit, Yuta has a unit, Gojo doesn't. And Miguel was at it afterwards. So I think Gojo's next. If we get a confirmation for October, it's going to happen. Then anniversary reveal date. This is the main reason why I think it's happening. Because like Mei, right? It was only 3 months. But to be fair, this was in March. So literally, like, let me just paint the picture. They did a roadmap for literally 1 extra month, which the only cool thing was that, oh, Tower's coming, right? And then it's like May, the only thing they included was anniversary. This would be the same thing, September to November. So I guess October, November. So they do October and November, and then it's like November is just anniversary's coming, and then maybe it gives a bit extra info on like what exactly is going to be there. And then, yeah, I mean, that's kind of all they need to do. But I think we could get the Annie reveal date, and it could be different depending on Global, because what if Global's Annie's the 7th, and what if they want to try and sync it or do some shenanigans? Like I said, maybe only for anniversary they sync it. So what that means is that basically Global gets units like usual. However, for anniversary, because Global anniversary is on the 7th, which is actually earlier than JP, maybe they push Global's anniversary back a bit, but then sync it up only for anniversary. Only for anniversary. Or maybe a week behind for like JJK Annie, right, for Global and JP. So maybe the date changes, because usually it's on the 21st, but maybe it changes. So we're gonna have to see. I'm leaving that open for discussion, and then it's gonna confirm if Shibuya is Annie. Why? Let me explain. Basically, here we had a confirmation that in August we were getting a new chapter. What does new chapter confirm? Or was it August? I think so. And what does a new chapter confirm? Well, it confirms that we're getting some more Shibuya stuff that month. And guess what we got in August? Shibuya. Sure, we got some in September, but I'm just saying that, like, we got the chapter in August, and then we got Shibuya units. So that's important. And then Tower reveal date, 81 plus reveal date. We should probably get tower now. I would definitely say by November we're probably going to be finishing sweep, because there's two main things for sweep, right? Number one, our units are not up to par, not yet, unless you have max dupes. If you have max dupes, perfect rotations, or just dupes in general, right, you could definitely do it. However, some units are not up to par, but there's another thing. Not even just that, it's mainly the stats. We have to get the stats first. So there's a lot of things. This, like right now, I'm missing almost, literally, I'm missing 810 Jujutsu for Gojo, which against dupes and against rec bits, that's a lot, right? That's almost 2,000% Jujutsu, or sorry, 2,000 stat Jujutsu that you're missing, including everything, right? 810, maybe like 1,500, right? So it's a lot. And then the combo ult makes you do more damage, which is very big, and then more buffs, so that's big, and then another permanent 20% damage increase for the team. So when you get all this, is sweep going to be easier? Yes. So it's going to take time, but sweep's going to be easy, and I would like to say by November we're going to have it pretty much done, and that to me seems like a perfect time to release tower, being in November or December. And keep in mind, we had tower confirmed in May's date. That was this was tower confirmation. 81, or just like calling the expansion that it was coming out. They did confirm it in that stream. And yeah, I really do think it's going to be Fuga Sukuna that we're getting, because they just really struggle. They like releasing units from the same fights, because if you check this out, these units were all kind of in the same arc, if you consider it, right? Look at this. So they did Toji, now Bito, and then Megumi, all from the same arc back to back. So unless we somehow just get a random Fuga Sukuna drop, I think he's going to be more so towards Annie. We got Jogo, we have the Fuga Sukuna artwork, and I think it's going to happen. Also, keep this in mind, right? Keep this in mind. The previous graphics, we're starting to get the units from the previous graphics, right? The Toji graphic that we got, the Choso graphic, we got Choso, right? Let's go back a bit more. So besides the Choso graphic, what other graphics did we get? That's a good question. I think I skipped over it. No, it was before. My bad. It was in April. So besides that, what other graphics do we get? You might be wondering. Well, we got the Megumi with the Yuji, and guess what? We got the Bunny Megumi, right? So that was more so the Toji fight, but I just want to paint the picture. And then they did tease Toji in the Ino trailer for a story, and guess who we got? We got Ino. So they're slowly getting through these units, and I mean, obviously domain 0.2 domain Gojo is going to happen at some point. So it's like, I don't know, I just think Fuga Sukuna is highly likely, in my opinion. And then for SP buffs, so now we're going to move on. Towers should come, but we'll see. I think it would make sense. SP buffs, who could it be? Green Miwa, Green Panda, Yellow Inumaki. I think Momo SP would be huge. Red Toto and Blue Gojo. Why Momo SP? Because right now, like, let's just take a look. She is like way below what we need. Like way below. Like, she could put 140% with break. That's cool. Nanami could consistently get like 200% while doing damage. The main thing is that she doesn't do damage. So the best thing for you to do, because she doesn't do damage, you know what? Make her just have a bigger buff. Maybe what they do is make it like 80% for 3 turns. Because if they did like 100% for 2 turns, that would be too much. But maybe like 70% for 3 turns. Maybe they just do that. Maybe there's like literally increase the turn amount and maybe like give more break damage, right? That's all they need to do for the skill 2 for it to be really good. Just increase the amount of turns that this lasts, and like you're chilling, right? That's basically it. And then besides that, they could maybe do the alt, where maybe it stuns and then lowers alt gauge for 2 counts. Maybe something like that could happen. I just think Momo would be really big because blue needs it. Blue, it's literally like red, green, and yellow. It's like Sukuna versus Maharaga. Blue is Sukuna versus Jogo. That's the best way to put it. It's that bad. It's that bad. So blue needs it. Blue Gojo, like a bunch of these units. I think Green Miwa would actually be insane. If they buff her, she'd actually be like broken. Just give her a taunt on her skill 2 that she could spam and she's broken. She genuinely is. Now next up, new unit announcement. Has to be a blue unit. Like I said, this is Sukuna versus Jogo. Red, green, and yellow is Sukuna versus Maharaga. Pretty close. Actually entertaining. Blue is just Jogo versus Sukuna, but you're on the receiving end, right? Like it's pretty rough. So blue needs a stat buffer or a damage increase debuffer, because like I said, Momo's 140% is not enough. It's not enough, especially because she's not a DPS. So Nobara could be a sub DPS while also being a debuffer. This could be really big, but a blue Kusakabe stat buffer would be huge, or an original unit blue support. Now, I said blue Kusakabe end of month October 31st, but since we know there's a unit here ore here, and we also got Jogo. I think the unit, I don't think it's going to be yellow anymore. I don't think this is going to happen. Yellow, I think they're fine for now, especially with Mekamaru and Junpei. I definitely think we need this. We need this, right? We could even get this. We could definitely get a Gojo. We need something like that, bro. We do. We just do. We genuinely do. It's definitely something that would be nice for us to get. Because right now, Sukuna is just surviving on bare minimum. No stat buffer for blue. Yaga dies too quick. You can't use Yaga in sweep anymore. And then there's not even enough supports, right? You're either using all stat buffer debuffers or you're running Momo, and then Momo is barely giving a buff, right? So it's very unfortunate what Sukuna is going through. So I hope these two slots fill up very quickly for Sukuna. First off, I think a Kusakabe would be fucking goated, right? It would actually be insane how good he'd be. Would counter, which would also help survivability for the team. I'm excited for that. And then finally, calling games. Info if it's planned. So if it's not in this stream, I think it could happen for the Annie stream because, for example, Shibuya was announced in the November 2024 anniversary stream, and then it was going to be to be released in January 2025. So it could be something like that. And funny timing, calling games comes out in January 2026. So calling games, I think, is very possible to come out soon. After this batch, like of Shibuya units, we're at the point where it's like they could release some of the rest of the Shibuya units, like trinkle them along and then release calling games units. I think that's the best way to go. Like we've been getting a lot of units, right? A lot of Shibuya units that are all like really good. And bro, this Jogo art, by the way, I just want to just breathe it in because it's fucking insane. I think the rocks make it look very good. So it's like we've been getting a lot of good units, probably going to get more good units. I just think that, you know, we got to start getting some good stuff. We got to start getting some good stuff for blue. We got to start getting calling games, hopefully in January, or even by March, I think is fine. I just think it needs to be before like 6 months, right? If they wait too long, I think it's going to be a bit ass, personally. But if they wait for the first core of the anime to be over, I think that's fine. They wait for the first core, then they release a unit, and then it keeps the hype going for calling games, right? If you play the game, which I think is honestly going to be pretty fun. So yeah, there's a lot of different parts. So we got domain investigation, original story, roadmap, SP buffs, new announcement for a unit, almost surely, because we've never gotten a stream without one, and then calling games, which I think really has to be blue. These are my two top options, but we'll see. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know what you think. Also, I hope to see you guys for the stream. This is going to be very exciting. So that's going to be it. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.